Hi everyone, I'm Akono Dixon and I play Sean in the new Hallmark Movies and Mysteries movie Spring Breakthrough. And I'm joined by my wonderful co-star, Demetrius Grosse, who plays Clark.
Hi, I'm Demetrius. And thank you for the warm introduction, Akono. I play Clark Randall in Hallmark Mahogany's upcoming Spring Breakthrough, premiering on April 30th, live across the world.
Awesome. Well, we have a couple of questions that Hallmark Movies and Mysteries sent our way that we will be answering. So let's get started. So our first question is: so we are so thrilled that Spring Breakthrough is part of the Mahogany franchise. And how does it feel for us to be a part of this incredible experience, Demetrius?
Well, for me, to be a part of an experience like this is it's one of those milestones for me personally as an artist. The Mahogany brand is synonymous with good nature, with familial stories, with telling stories and writing greeting cards that are transversal across all factions of humanity. So to be in a story that that the main character is love and the resilience of love, um, with a chocolate spin on it. I really appreciate it, and to get a chance to work with Sylvia Mathis and Michael T. Williamson and Tony, and it's really an honor to be a part of something like this, and to have a story to be so sweet.
Wow, well, what an amazing answer. So now, how can I top that? So I want to say that just to be a part of Hallmark's Mahogany, I mean, it really is such a true honor. For me to be a young guy from Mississippi who always dreamed of being an actor, and to now being an actor on this iconic brand with Hallmark, and not just Hallmark, but Hallmark Mahogany, who's showing the families, showing love and showing adventure and prosperity and abundance from the Black lens. And I just feel so honored, and I feel just I'm filled with so much just gratefulness of responsibility, to really motivate, boys and girls and adults and who look like me, and also even more than that. So it really is just a complete honor. So, my next question is: so in the movie, I play Sean, who proposes to his girlfriend, Vivian. So, hoping all family members bond before the new wedding, they invite Vivian's mom, Monica, and Sean's godfather, Clark, Mr. Demetrius, to join them on a vacation in the Gulf Shores. So, can we share more on how our characters feel about their engagement, Demetrius?
Well, uh, our characters, speaking for us, Sean or Kono, uh, Sean and Clark are both really excited about this engagement. I mean, the dynamic that we enjoy is that I play your godfather. I play, Clark's is Sean's godfather, so he's helped mature this young man and helped to culture him to be a man of commitment and a man who's not afraid to take risks like getting married and to the love of his life. Um, and unfortunately for us, you know, Monica is not necessarily as enthused about the matrimony. So therefore, we have a protagonist, an antagonist, and we have good and juicy story um, that we ultimately will see how a happy ending is going to be possible in the movie.
Again, what another great answer. And if I just want to piggyback on that, I just have to say, Demetrius, just working with you, I didn't tell you this on set, but you really are such a light, and you're just so supportive. And just working with you, I feel as though, like I'm working with one of the greats, who's also super supportive and was really kind and really cheered me on throughout the scene. So I want to say thank you for that. And in regards to our characters' relationship, and in regards to our characters' relationship and engagement, I feel as though the fact that I have a godfather like Clark, someone who's so GQ, who's so suave, who's so confident, and also who is so vulnerable, and who's teaching me these little aspects of life and how to walk, as a man, as a human being, how to be respectful, how to be strong and powerful, and how to go after what I want. I just feel as though our engagement with each other was just honestly amazing and beautiful on screen as it was off screen. And I mean, Demetrius, you really are just an incredible actor to work with, and I learned a lot from you. So,
Well, I love hearing that. And before we move on, I just want to say, it's a relationship like the one that we discovered working on this Akono. That's what really makes this a special opportunity, to be able to be an artist and to be an actor and to be old enough to have some savvy, but to be young enough to enjoy the fete or the party of it all, and to be able to meet a young man like yourself who I can self-identify with, maybe 10 years removed, or so, and see that ambition and that assertiveness in you, and want to like just bring it out and help it develop and cultivate. So I think this was a beautiful opportunity to achieve one of my dreams, which was to have the fourth wall sort of shattered a bit in terms of healthily blurring the line between realities, where we could have that kind of fraternal godfather, godson, big brother, or whatever you want to call it, relationship, and have it translate so dynamically into a film. So it was a milestone for me personally as well. And the future's very bright for you, young man. Indeed.
wow. Thank you, Demetrius. No, everyone, you see why I say this, what I just said about him. Thank you. Thank you, Demetrius. Wow. Thank you. Well, let's move on to the second question that Hallmark has for us. So we have, when Monica is traveling, she bumps into Clark and immediately builds a connection. So, Mr. Demetrius, can you tell us more about your character's growing relationship with Monica?
Yeah. It's 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 intricate and interesting. The question. Monica and Clark's relationship is one where it's love at first sight, but there has to be patience to allow that love to really find its brightest light, so to speak. Um, they meet quite serendipitously in a airport lounge, shopping, and I think he's an assertive man who knows exactly what he wants and what he's looking for. He takes an opportunity to live a soft life in this season of his life when we meet Clark and Monica. She is in her sort of volition mode to come and sabotage this wedding, um, and not for nefarious reasons, really, but because she loves her daughter so much that she doesn't want her daughter to potentially make a mistake that she thought she made coming right out of college and getting married, and not seizing her sort of her own life on her own. I think these two are the kind their love story is the kind of love story that we want to see work. There's the kind of love story that we root for, not just in the Black community, but in the humanity community. People who are starting over again. Most relationships are ones where people are either coming into one or exiting one, and I think these two find a really happy ending.
Demetrius, I really have to agree with what you said, that Monica and Clark's relationship is the type of relationship that we not only want to see within the Black community, however, just within the human experience as a whole. And I'm really excited for viewers to watch this, and just watching you and Monica just take over the screen, and just, I mean, you had just as much love and chemistry as you did on screen, as you did professional and upbeat and positive energy off screen. So it was really a delight to watch you two work. And which leads us into our next question is, okay, so while Monica is getting to know Clark, she expresses her concern that Vivian is too young to settle down with Sean. why do we think viewers will connect with this storyline? And honestly, Demetrius, if it's okay with you, I would love to answer this because I'm really passionate about this question. So I think the reason why viewers would really connect with this is because it's just similar to the Hallmark brand, the Hallmark stories, which is about human connection, about love, about diversity, and just so much good stuff. And I think when we have two people who are in love, and I think that I think that no matter what you want or who you are or what you really want in life, you really deserve to have that because we as individuals, we're all different. We may want something different from what our parents may want us to have, from what our significant other may want us to have. So I think that's what viewers will really connect to is, being at a place in their lives when they wanted something that was completely different from their family dynamics, from their society dynamics. And that's why I think this movie Spring Breakthrough is a movie that everyone will connect to because it touches on so many different bases that I think that's just involved with the human experience.
Well, I am glad that you answered that question because it was very eloquently done. I don't need to add anything to it.
Thank you. Okay, so we're going to go down to the next question. So, despite Vivian and Monica's differences around the engagement, they both try to see each other's point of view with a little help from their besties, Denise and Sierra. So, Demetrius, what do we admire most about their mother and daughter relationship?
What I love about the relationship is that, you know, that she's a single mother. Monica's a single mom. She raised her daughter. There's been some sort of separation or divorce between her and Vivian's father. Uh, and what we hint to later on is that there was still a strong relationship between Vivian and her father. These are real life issues. I think that it's good because while some people try to write Hallmark off as like a blue sky drama or always having a happy ending, I think this film Spring Breakthrough it keeps that Hallmark ball in the air that we've all grown to know and love. But there are some real cathartic moments where we don't know if this whole thing is going to work out, and yet at the same time there's no dysfunctionality in these relationships. There aren't any uh, just there's nothing horrible that happens between Monica and Vivian. It's just two women who love each other. The mother, who may be a little overprotected, and goes to an extent to try to sabotage something, and in the process of that, love finds her, and so it's a different kind of film that rings the bells of what I think audiences of this brand know and love, but it's gonna cross over into some new territory for our audiences, and specifically through that mother-daughter relationship that's so dynamic.
Demetrius, you really just hit it out of the park into a different state, a different country with that answer. I mean, that was really phenomenal. And I just have to agree with you on that. I think that I love the fact that when you talked about, we know as Hallmark being ending with happy endings and being of love. And at the same time, the one thing I love about Spring Breakthrough and why it's so special to me, even when I read the script, is that it's real and it shows real life situations between mother and daughter, between meeting the love of your life, young love is showing all these real things that we as humans go through, and that's what I think is so. That's one of the reasons why I think is so special about this whole project. And in regards to mother and daughter relationship, I think that it kind of piggybacks on what I just said. I think that it's really real. We see how this mother and daughter relationship. I mean, some mother and daughter relationships are different than the others, but in this relationship, we see so much love, even though there are some kind of disagreements. Both of these two really love each other, and they want each other to do their best and to be their best. However, it's kind of like they're going through their own little maze together to find, okay, how do I understand Vivian? Okay, how do I understand Monica? You know, how do they understand each other? And the loving thing I love about just Hallmark in general is that there is a happy ending. And I don't think that's a cliche. I think, hey, why not go through life, you know, experiencing the beautiful aspects and also the aspects that help us learn, and then we have a beautiful ending. I think that's just having a really beautiful perspective on life. So I absolutely love that. And which leads me into the next question. So Clark is not only a godfather to Sean, but a talented golf instructor. So what do you like most about their relationship, Demetrius? And also, did you already know how to play golf? Or
I
did you
knew
have
this question was coming. I knew this question was going to come at some point. um, but okay. So it's a complicated answer that I'm going to try to simplify and make succinct. I have played a significant amount of golf, but not enough. So people ask me if I play golf, and I say, every chance I get. But um, it takes a lot of commitment to play 18 holes of golf and to walk a course and to, so I'm on my second bag of clubs. I got to train with TJ at the hotel and resort where we were shooting this film in Alabama. TJ is a professional golfer, and so I just haggled some golf swag from TJ. Shout out TJ, who made me look really good. Uh, by the end of the film, I was a better golfer than I was at the beginning. That's 100% sure, a true statement. And other than that, I think it was a great opportunity. Every now and again, you get an opportunity to do a film or do a project that actually helps you level up a part of your real life that you want to level up, and this was that. So it's complicated. Yeah, I told you it's an intricate answer. So I played a little bit, but now I'm a much better, at least putter, than I was. But Ryan Nicole Brown, our Vivian, has she's got a tee shot that you will actually see in the movie, I think, right? She's in the movie, yeah. And it's like pro level. Like hers is pro level. So I should have been training with Ryan.
what a fantastic answer. I'm over here almost falling out of my chair because you just had me laughing. Okay, so that leads me to my next question, Demetrius. So we see that Vivian and Sean are excited to get married, but they discovered that they have a few differences that they need to work out before tying the knot. If we had to give our characters, if you had to give our characters any advice, Demetrius, what would it be?
Well, as I answer this question, I don't know if you can sort of listen between the lines, but there's a song going on back here at this patio that I'm at that just went off, and it said "Heart of Gold." It was a song called "Heart of Gold," and really, my advice, if I were to sort of to have Vivian and Sean be real people, and I would give advice to them, me being happily wed to the most wonderful woman I've ever met in my life for over a decade. Um, I would say you have to have that heart of gold, and you got to have a lot of faith, and you got to have not only unconditional love, but a love that's dynamic and willing to grow and evolve, and to not want to own your partner, but to appreciate your partner as they grow, so that you all can hopefully grow together. Um, that would be my advice to Sean and Vivian. If Sean and Vivian were real people and they wanted an advice from me, that would be my advice.
Well, I absolutely love that, Demetrius, because even though you're talking to Sean and Vivian, I feel as though you're also talking to Ryan and Akono. So I really would take that, and you having a successful marriage, you know, and just I mean, I look at you with the most respect. So thank you. And if I were to give Sean any advice for my speaking, you know, for one, you know, I'm still a young man, and I'm still learning as we all are, I think. And one thing I would tell Sean is to keep leading with love and don't try to be perfect. And I think that's something that the audience may or may not see, but Sean definitely had that within himself. He had this way of going about delivering certain news to Vivian, certain things he wants her to know about, but doing it in a very his own charismatic, but way that may not serve his better self. So I would say just trust your fiance, trust her more and know that you can tell her anything, and just keep leading with love, man. You're already a loving human being. You're already a golden guy. Just keep leading with that and just lead with your heart.
Lead with your heart. And just lastly, because this is a love story, I think faith has a real space in really good loving relationships in all that we do, regardless of how we identify or line up on a religious spectrum, but just how palpable and effectual uh, the practice of faith is. A relationship, as we look at it through the lens I was going to say Monica and Clark, but of Vivian and Sean. That's that young, sweet love that's resilient and is not going to take no for an answer. That kind of relationship also needs to be sustained by a strong belief system, and for them to pray for each other and to have faith. So I think faith is one of those things that is necessary in a great, lasting relationship that sometimes gets overlooked when we like, oh, hey, she bad, or oh, he's fine. And then we don't realize that, what does that person's belief system look like? What's their faith game like? If we are trying to build something, is that person gonna be able to sustain the mantle of faith that it's going to take to procure that thing and make that thing come into fruition? So that'd be the last thing I would add.
Isn't he just such a wise man, everyone? I mean, come on. I mean, yeah, I see everyone saying yes, and that's one thing that I want to just piggyback off too, Demetrius, because you really just brought up so much goodness within even how I'm viewing this is the word faith. I remember even whenever we were filming the scene, filming the engagement scene when I proposed to Ryan and Vivian, Ryan's character Vivian, and I was a bit nervous. I'm like, wow, he's 21. I'm in college. I'm proposing. Also, this is not just my character's first time proposing, but me proposing as a Kono. So when I took that on, it was very. I wanted to do it right, and I wanted to do it specially. Even whenever Sean was going through these experiences with Vivian and everything in his world, I was kind of so into it where I felt as though, okay, I'm in this where I had to. That was the one thing that Demetrius that I had just meditated on was faith. To say Akono, for one, you got the script. It's going to be fine. But two, Akono and Sean know that you're going to be okay. It's going to be great. Every scene you do, it's going to be beautiful. You're going to show your heart. Ryan is going to show her heart. It's going to work. So it was kind of a bit of a little complicated thing I was experiencing because I felt so much love for Sean and so much love for Vivian for these characters that it really had me kind of go more into their worlds, and realize, what, just have faith that everything is going to work out the way it should. So Demetrius, thank you for saying that. That was very, really, really, really special. So which leads me to the next question. So there are a lot of fun moments in this movie with our characters staying at the resort, from playing a game of poker to eating s'mores around a campfire. Demetrius, do we each have a favorite scene? Because I know I do.
There are some really just delightful moments in this movie. I think I think my favorite scene was this awful dancing I was doing that I got to do in the hotel club scene. Where we are in the little cabana themed, tropical themed hotel bar, and from the trailer I saw, I can't believe I'm dancing kind of. I feel like I'm dancing like the uncle at the barbecue. I don't know why, because when we were filming it, I couldn't. Because of the technicalities of movie making, the way we were doing it, we play the music and then we cut off the music to do the dialogue, and I couldn't really like. I'm doing the dialogue and I want to make sure the scene is right, and I'm listening to my actress in Keisha and making sure But I was very critical of my dance moves. My two step was like kind of like a 1.5 foot shuffle. It didn't really quite, to me, in my personal opinion. So it was fun, but it's also one of those places where I'm like, oh gosh. But not to be vain or anything, but that's one that sticks out just off the top of my head. That was fun because everybody was involved in that, right? Like everybody got to get their groove on. Michael T was just a great governor of this movie. What a perfect choice by the network to put Michael T, who is just absolute class, elegance, and and just he's that guy, and he was able to be the great coach or the leader that we needed to run this thing into the finish line with the flying colors that we were able to. But yeah, those are some of my memories of dancing in the hotel bar.
I'm over here laughing because I remember your dance, but Demetrius, do you remember my dance? My two. So I think we all can have a little chuckle at our laughs. And to going into that question, I have a funny moment. I do have a moment I really love. And the funny moment is whenever we were all dancing. I think it was our characters' first times like showing our own flavor. And that's one of the many things I really love about working on this film is that everyone was an individual. Everyone brought their true hearts to their characters. So it was so easy to just be yourself. I mean, I don't know, I don't remember what dances I was doing, but we'll see it on the screen. So I'm letting you know now, everyone. I do love dancing. And the scene that one of the moments I really do love, I mean, there's so many that I love. However, since this question involves s'mores, I do have to go back to the campfire scene between Sierra, Vivian, Tyson, and myself. And the reason why I love that moment so much is because I am a really big family guy. I love family, I love friends, and I love community. And like I love community, and I love everyone coming together. And honestly, and I love being on the beach, and I love laughter. I love good vibes and joy. And for me to have my character, for him to have his fiance and to have his brother, and also to have my fiance's best friend, and just having everyone get along together and laughing, and me chasing Tyson around the campfire, and we have the moon, the stars, the ocean, our family. I mean, talk about life, man. Like it was really an amazing time. So that has to be my favorite scene, one of my most loving, endearing scenes.
Right, but what you're leaving out is the dedication of this cast in this movie, because it was cold that night on that beach. Wasn't it freezing? It was meant to look warm, but Alabama hadn't quite turned the corner yet into its actual spring breakthrough, because it was freezing that night, and I was happy that somehow I wasn't in that scene because it was freezing, and I was just like, I tipped my hat to all you guys who were out there by that little campfire that couldn't have been that warm when you're off of the Gulf Coast, the Gulf Shores, and you guys were roasting s'mores like it was canned caribou. But like, look, shout out to our cast, everybody you mentioned, Tougher and Letitia and everybody, because you guys made that look warm, but it was not warm shooting that scene at all.
Hey, well, hey, Demetrius, maybe we'll have a sequel called Winter Breakthrough.
I remember they were like, "Okay, Demetrius, you're wrapped." I was like, "Thank you." I'm usually like the last one to want to leave set. I like to be the first one there and the last one to leave. But that day it was cold. And I was like, "Oh, you guys are gonna shoot the s'more scene tonight, right now." Oh man, making sure that you guys had warming coats though, right? They took care of you, right?
Oh, yes, and that's one thing I wanted to tiptoe off of you when you talked about working with Michael T. He made sure that we were the main. He made sure that we were just fine. And we were his main concerns to make sure we're warm, we're happy to be there. I mean, he really takes care of his actors and also just Michael T. I mean, he really is a phenomenal human being. I even told him, I said, Michael T, you really helped me become more of a man on this set. And I really do mean that. I mean, the way I walk now, Demetrius, is different. The way I see life, the way I handle business. I mean, the way I treat myself is different. And I really do mean this. And he's just really, words can't do him justice. And he's just an amazing person. Before I get too emotional, let's go into to the second, to the other question. So we see that Vivian and Sean notice the spark between Monica and Clark as they'll all spend time together. So, Demetrius, do we have any fun behind the scenes stories that we can share from filming? Even though you've already kind of shared a lot, is there one more or?
You know, not really. You and I, me and you, we got a chance to work out in the gym, man. I just very succinctly, Akono and I staying in the same resort while we were shooting, and I knew that I needed an accountability partner to work out. And I remember the day we were in there working out, and we started trading workout songs. And I was at the time I was into like my deep house South African, DJ Kent and Black Hive the DJ, deep house grooves and
Which I love, by the way.
right. And then and so we trading songs, and I couldn't lift with you, man. I mean, I'm in pretty good shape, but you used to play football and stuff, and I remember sitting there and realizing, man, sitting on the bench while I was about to put up. I'm not gonna say how much I was putting up because I'm not gonna age or undercut myself. But I remember being on the bench and being like, oh yeah, I'm a 40-year-old man. Like, I'm not gonna be competing with Akono because Akono fresh out of school, 25 years old. I'm gonna get my dad bod to a sexy bod, but I don't need to be, I don't need to be Kent over here. I'm gonna let Akono stay in his lane, and I'm gonna stay in mine, and it all worked out.
Man, I just can't say any more good words about you. Like, good gosh, Demetrius, thank you. That's really kind of you. And I have to say, that's one of my favorite memories too. Is I remember I was walking downstairs to go to the gym, and I saw Demetrius. Well, actually, I met him before that, but we decided to go to the gym, and honestly, for me, just to be working out, which is something that I truly love, and to have the actor who's portraying my godfather, and the fact that we were already building this connection, even when we weren't talking, it was just, when you're in the gym, well, if you're working out, if you work out with a partner, even if you're doing different workouts, you still have that energy, that connection, we're like making eye contact, we're like, you're ready, I'm ready, you're ready. So we're just getting it in, and just working out being such a really personal thing for me, and I love it. Just to work out with my godfather was a really amazing thing. So I think that was a great moment. And another moment behind the scenes I remember is whenever Keisha's, and you spoke about this, Demetrius, is whenever Keisha's hat fell off. And she screamed, but I think Michael T said, "Oh, it's perfect. Let's just keep it rolling. It worked," because it was such a Keisha moment, though, so it worked.
And she's so adorable, and Keisha is. I can't say enough about her. She's really an assertive leader, and and just delightful, right? Like I think the best is still yet to come. What we're going to see from Keisha Sharp. She can come off as demure a little, but she's not at all, and she is fierce and assertive. She's the kind of woman I think that audiences are going to root for, and she was a delight to be my co-star. respect for her, and glad that people are going to see her in this softer light, even though she comes off in the beginning as like fire and brimstone. I'm gonna sabotage this wedding. We see her very organically and with a lot of humanity soften and open her Monica self up to love, and it's a beautiful. I think it's gonna be a beautiful journey for a lot of people of all kinds of demographics that are gonna tap in well with this film. Swing Breakthrough.
I think Keisha's really one of the most, or probably the most loveliest human beings I've ever met, and actresses I've ever got to work with. Just so kind and so sweet. You're also assertive in a very respectful way, and so supportive. As are you, Demetrius, and which is so kind. And I mean, to be a young actor and to have this be my first leading role, and I mean to work with you two and see you two and learn from you two and see how you treat people on set. You treat everyone with so much compassion, so nice, and also at the same time you're very professional and very honest. So just working with you two is really just a dream, and I was spoiled. I really was just watching you two. So before we conclude this, Demetrius, so we have a little rapid fire game of this or that inspired by Spring Breakthrough. So let's just get right into it if you're ready for it, because it's going to be kind of intense. Are you ready for
All
this,
right, let's
Demetrius?
go for it. Let's go for it.
Well, let's get it going. So, Demetrius, first question. Would you rather enjoy a round of golf or spend a day at a museum? You got 3 seconds.
I'd rather golf
Okay.
because you get to hang out with your friends.
Okay. For me, would I rather enjoy a round of golf or spend a day at a museum? I would say a museum because I still can be around my friends, but I love art. I love museums. I love literature and classical things, even modern paintings. I'm just like a nerd for that. Second question, Demetrius, s'mores by the fire or dinner at a fancy restaurant? That's a hard one. That's a hard
Uh, S'mores at the fire with my baby.
I gotta say s'mores, even though I'm so big on fancy restaurants. I love going to fine dining. I love Michelin star. I'm a sucker for fine food, and I just love the whole experience with that. So, but I would have to go with s'mores. No, s'mores. I mean, it's that community, that friendship or family ship is nothing like it. I mean,
Yeah,
there's
now you
nothing
can
like
do
it.
all kind of. You can have like vegan chocolate and all. You can do all kind of like cool,
Mhm.
grain free, graham crackers and all kind of stuff. So you can really like level up your s'mores, you know,
Yes.
and get some,
So,
and get some cool points from your girl, 'Cause they like it when you
hey.
stay in their pocket and watch their, their curves and stuff. And so that's a good look. Like they got the organic s'mores with with the vegan chocolate, and then she's like, "Oh, that's so sweet, and you're helping me, my figure," and it's a good look.
And then feed it to her too, just feed it, feed each other, and a little Eskimo kiss. Okay, we get
Because
really
the
into
restaurant is nice, but it's also the fancy restaurant is nice, but there's also a lot of behavior. See, the intimacy of the s'mores, that's where you know, that's where you can make
it.
make great things happen.
Yes, yeah. So our next question is, so play a game of poker or dancing? I'm gonna answer that one. Dance all the way.
I'm gonna agree. Dancing,
Okay.
dancing. Anyway,
So our next question is spring break or summer break, Demetrius?
uh, spring break because it's more needed. You're in the middle of work, like whether you're in school or if you have kids. There's something about spring break. Summer break is one of those things that is only, you know, it's only when you're in school. But even when you're not in school, spring break is over because you're breaking out of winter and you're going into the warmer months, and everybody loves it. By the summertime, sometimes some summers somewhere are just too hot. The spring is always well welcome.
I definitely have to go with spring break. Why? Because I feel like with spring break, you just got out of school. You're really excited about it because you mainly have only like a week or so. So you're just gonna go at it. Make sure you have the most best vacation. You're gonna relax. You're gonna do everything, because you're really gonna take advantage of it because it's such a fleeting moment. It's only gonna be for 1 week. So you make sure you're gonna have the best time of your life just for that 1 week. You're gonna do everything. You're not gonna put anything off. Like, nope, doing this, and that every single day. Even if that's sleeping every day, if you're in college. So our last question is: would you rather go sightseeing on foot or by bike riding?
100% by bike ride, hands down. Bikes are everything. I'm a cyclist.
Oh,
And actually, when I get back home, I'm going to be picking my bike up from the shop. Excited about it. I think you can traverse places on a bike that you can't by car or on foot. But on a bike, you can cover more canvas of both. So I'm a big advocate for cycling for sure.
I on the other hand, I love both. However, I love it by foot only because I feel like I'm just more grounded, and I feel like for me, like I have such an energetic just type of personality where things kind of get my attention. And I feel like if I'm riding, I would have to stop every 2 seconds just because I'm like, oh, that's cool. Oh, I want to touch that. Oh, I want to feel that. Oh, I want to meditate here for a moment. I'm serious. That's how I can be sometimes. But if I'm on foot, I can like kind of see it in the distance and already brace myself forward, just kind of take my time. But I do love bike riding. I bike ride at least once a week home. Like I love it. So
And the thing
love
is, too, since this is a love story and we want to end it on a lovely note for the ladies out there, I will say that I can understand why a walk would or could be better than a bike ride, because at least when you're walking with your baby, you can hold hands and
yeah.
you get your groove on through through your promenade. But on the bike, everybody's got to keep their hands on the handlebars, so there's not as much physical connection. So yeah.
So true. So
Oh, listen to
true.
that karungbin in the background. Look how it's taking us out. Do you hear that?
It is very, yeah. I feel like it's taking us to another spring break. I feel like it's taking us to like a nice adventure. It's like very like ooh. Actually, I think I'm singing another artist song. So, well, Demetrius, I want to say it was so phenomenal working with you. It was so
Likewise, brother.
phenomenal.
Likewise. Let's do it again one day.
I would absolutely love to. It was so phenomenal working with Michael T, with Keisha, with Ryan, with every single person on this set, and yeah, and it's just a great time. And I just want to say, really, thank you everyone for joining us. And we cannot wait for you to watch the premiere of Spring Breakthrough, which comes out on, let's see, Hallmark Movies and Mysteries at 7/6 Central. And also make sure you
April
tweet.
30th.
Oh, April 30th. Thank you. April 30th at 7/6 Central, only on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries. And make sure you tweet hashtag Spring Breakthrough. And Demetrius, is there anything that you want to leave the viewers with? Anything that you think they may take away from this film, or just anything that you want to leave us with?
I will leave with a quote by Dr. King. Nothing is more powerful than the power of love. Love is salvific. Love is immutable. And, let's let love lead, and look to have compassion with each other before we judge each other. That's it. That's all I got to say. Follow me on social media at Demetrius Grosse. And we will see you on the next one.
See you, everyone. See you, everyone. See you Sunday, April the 30th at 7/6 Central on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries to watch the premiere of Spring Breakthrough.